It's showtime.
Hello, welcome. If you are new, please subscribe. Thank you for being a channel member. If you're returning, welcome home. There really is no good or bad side, good or evil. It's really just Fromville as a whole. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section, and don't forget to share it. I really appreciate it. Please and thank you. And also thank you to all the channel members, all of you all helping me keep the lights on. I really appreciate it.
Let's do the damn thing.
Yes, let's do it. We start off with Fatima's anniversary. We haven't seen any other anniversaries. Donna gives a speech about her being special, and this also is somewhat of a setting up for the reason why Donna forgives Fatima season 3 when she unalives Tilly. Spoiler alert. Hopefully you've already seen season 1, 2, and 3 of From. Hopefully you've already seen it in its entirety. Spoiler alert, there will be spoilers here. But yeah, that's the reason why Donna gives forgiveness, because in addition to Boyd finding the talisman stone, Fatima, with her green thumb and the fact that she was everyone's proxy and she's been positive and upbeat, she's the number 2 most important person in Fromville. You could say, well, what about Donna? What does Donna really do? From their perspective, as far as the characters, Fatima is a number 2, if not maybe number 3. She's up there. She's top 5. Ellis comes through. He's being a hater. But he has good reason, because this reminds him that he's stuck in Fromville. It also is somewhat of a reminder that while being in Fromville, his mom, Abby, went crazy, started pow-powing people. Abby did mention that she was hearing voices, and she started pow-powing people to quote unquote wake them up and send them home. We don't know, and we probably won't know, but there's enough reason to believe that it's possible Abby heard the same voices as Sarah. The voices convinced Abby to play duck hunt, and everybody would be free if you do that. So Ellis is in full hater mode. He should be supportive of his woman, should be happy, but this just reminds him that he's stuck in Fromville. His mom is not there, and that, in my opinion, is the reason why he drinks. He's using the drinking as escapism to hide the fact that he is really depressed, needs someone to talk to. He doesn't want to talk to his dad because his dad took out Abby. Doesn't want to talk to Fatima or anybody in Colony House about it because they more than likely have made comments or treat him a certain way because Abby was a mass casualty situation, and this causes him to drink. Fatima, who is looking for something under her bed, says that she is looking at it in the wrong way, and that they are actually celebrating survival, cheekily adding that it's nice to have a party once in a while. Fatima then finds a sweater, which she keeps from Trudy, who loves it, and it's also Ellis's favorite. And admiring Julie tells Fatima that she makes the town seem almost normal, and that's why they're giving her a celebration, and that she is special. So Fatima somewhat picks up the hint that Julie is shooting her shot. Yeah, Julie was shooting her shot before Ellis comes in and blocks. Yeah, Julie was thirsty.
Simping activate.
So who knows where this would have led to had Ellis have not walked in. I think Fatima would have just ignored it, brushed it off. Julie would have kept shooting her shot. And eventually, I think Fatima would have turned her down. But thank you, Ellis, for coming in and keeping it from being awkward. Ellis offers Fatima a drink, saying that he wants to pregame. Fatima says no. He offers Julie. Julie says no. Ellis even offers Victor to partake. Even Victor turns him down. Everybody's looking at Ellis like, you're a whole weirdo out here. It's the middle of the day and you trying to get sauced. Kevin's putting out flowers for Jasmine.
Simping activate.
The single point of failure, because he could be getting with anybody in Colony House and anybody in town. But what it is that Just like in the real world, if you have a problem with talking to women, if women don't like you, if people don't like you, they don't find you interesting, they don't find you attractive, they don't find you funny, you look funny, you dress funny, you act funny, you're awkward, people are not gonna like you. So nobody likes Kevin. That's nobody in Colony House and nobody in town. And Trudy is even going to reveal that nobody likes her, and Trudy thinks that no one's going to give her a party. And it's because Kevin, who I'm going to say is an incel, and Trudy, who's kind of like the female version of it, they probably don't have good personalities. I mean, with Trudy, one of the first few times we see Trudy, she was not at Colony House hanging out with everybody else, but she was all the way at the gas station that's been converted into a bar, flirting with Jade because she saw Jade unconscious and wanted to jump his bones, which is weird. So Trudy wanted to do that. She went to town to stalk Jade, and then she propositioned him, saying, if you were in Colony House, I would have rode you like a dragon. He's looking at her like she's weird because, number one, we're stuck in Fromville. Creatures hunt us at night. We don't have access to resources, no cell phone, no television, and Trudy's out here being a whole weirdo. So that is the reason why Trudy doesn't have any friends, and Kevin more than likely is the same way. Probably doesn't pick up on clues, doesn't read the room. He was awkward outside of Fromville. He's awkward inside of Fromville, and that allowed Jasmine to get her claws into him.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Right. Tabitha is reading Flight of the Chromonacle to Ethan, and then he goes to sleep. Kenny finds Jade writing on his book. So Kenny admonishes Jade for doing that, and Jade's like, what, you want me to write on the wall like a crazy person? Which to me is kind of like poking fun at the fact that Jim is writing on his wall like a crazy person. Father Khatri meets Boyd at the sheriff's station, that used to be a post office, and says he wants to talk about what Sarah revealed to him through the power of the voices. Remember, the voices, they can basically see the future, or at least possibilities. So for right now, I'm going to say they can see the future, and that's how they were able to predict that 2 vehicles were going to be coming into Fromville, telling Sarah where to sit to be able to see these vehicles. I'm going to say that they can see the future as far as the context of the show. Same thing with the boy in white, same thing with the man in the yellow suit. They can all see possibilities, and they can tell you what to do to guarantee one of the possibilities to be coming into fruition. So while Father Khatri is in the sheriff's station with Boyd, Boyd tells Father Khatri his plan to go out into the forest and search for a way out. Khatri then reveals the bag that he buried the day he arrived in town and has Boyd look through the contents. Boyd gets frustrated and asks what's going on. Father Khatri says they have never discussed who they were before they came into town. Khatri explains there was a young, quiet, and sensitive boy with very strict parents in his congregation. One day, the boy asked Khatri if he could stay a while, but Khatri, not wanting the parents to worry, gave the boy a candy bar and sent him on his way. Later, Khatri went by the house to check on him, and the mother came rushing out of the house hysterical. Khatri recalls the smell of alcohol while the father was yelling at the dead body of his son. Khatri becomes distressed as he remembers the candy bar in the boy's pocket and how the father insisted that the boy would be fine. Khatri continues to say that he began beating the boy's father. Khatri is upset with himself for failing to help the boy and says that he contemplated taking himself out after drinking the bottle of alcohol in the bag, but heard the voice of God, who told him to return to the car, for there was another path to follow. So that voice, saying the voice of God, he didn't say it was a child. he felt it was the voice of God. So I'm thinking that this probably, more than likely, is the voice of the man in the yellow suit. Boyd asks the priest why he is telling him all this, and Khatri says it's because he has Sarah tied up in the basement. Khatri tries to explain that he knows there is a reason they are all trapped in town, but Boyd aims his firearm at him. Boyd tells a shocked Khatri to tell him that he is joking. Boyd angrily recalls how Father Khatri insisted that Frank go in the box, but Khatri tells him that Sarah may be the way they go home, and Boyd demands that he explains. Jim sketching plans for the radio tower, and Tabitha informs him that Ethan is passed out. Jim jokes that she violated numerous child labor laws by having him dig in the basement, but Tabitha assures him that their son enjoyed it. Tabitha reveals that she gets nervous whenever he is out of her sight, and Jim admits he does as well, but points out that all the windows are nailed shut and doors locked, so it would be impossible for him to let the creatures inside. Tabitha then admits she's also worried about Julie, but Jim assures her that Donna will take good care of her. Colony House is a mansion. Colony House is a mansion. And so in a mansion, you think Donna really is knowing what everybody's doing everywhere they go? I digress. So they have reasonable belief to believe that Donna more than likely can't watch Julie, but this is what it is.
Yikes.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, she's over there shooting her shot at Fatima. Imagine if Ellis were to find out in his drunken state, especially the way that he treated Dale. But anyway, Tabitha asks Jim how the radio tower is going, and Jim responds that if he can convince Boyd to let him use all their building materials and drain all their batteries and get Donna to allow them to use Colony House's high ground, it will be enough for everyone to hate him when it fails. Tabitha tells him not to doubt himself and reminds him that he got a signal. Jim corrects her and says it was static, but she assures him that it's something and kisses him. The two then joke about the hole in the basement before Tabitha leaves start digging. So here's the problem that I have with Tabitha. This has nothing to do with theories or reaction or anything, but they were going to Yellowstone National Park. They were on the verge of divorce. Tabitha was ignoring him, giving him the cold shoulder, and Jim was trying to rekindle their marriage that was failing. They're stuck in Fromville. They were at each other's throats. And now all of a sudden, she's kissing him and giving him choosing signals that she loves him and wants to work on their marriage. Okay? Those are the signals that Tabitha is giving here. Yet she doesn't want to stay married. She wants to get back in the streets, but she wants to be affectionate because she's happy. Mixed signals.
She belongs to the streets.
Mixed signals. He's thinking, oh, okay, things are going good for us. As a family, we're all reading together. No one's watching TV. No one's darting off anywhere. We're talking. My marriage might be back on track. That's the reason, in my opinion, why, even though Jim is going through these motions of trying to escape, after Tabitha goes to the lighthouse and is missing, and then Tabitha shows back up, that's the reason why Jim was trying to thwart the plans of theory crafting and trying to get out of Fromville, because he's like, look, you tried, I tried, we failed. We're happy here. Why not work on it and make things work? Whereas Jim is happy because of Tabitha's mixed signals. I'm just saying, it's the mixed signals.
Because that's how we get you.
Right. You're thinking, okay, we're going to break up. Okay, I'm going to accept it. Then you get a kiss, maybe a little bit more sugar. Now all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, okay, you know what? We Gucci. But you're not Gucci. You're not good to go. You are not good to go. Shame on you, Tabitha, for leading this man on. The party is in full swing. Ellis drunkenly stumbles through the crowd. Fatima tells him to slow down, but he insists that he's fine. He wants to step on the gas. That is the wrong answer. Right. She's saying slow down. He's like, no, I'm gonna speed up. Donna then gives a heartfelt speech praising Fatima, gifts her with a dream catcher. Everyone then raises a glass to Fatima, and Stacy kisses Fatima. Stacy kisses Fatima. You know, it's free love in Colony House. Julie stares, and Julie's like, okay, I've been shooting my shot. Fatima's not been picking up what I'm putting down. I see someone else just rush up and kiss Fatima. You know what? It's my time. Julie's like, it's my time. She sees this. She's like, okay, you know what? I want the same thing. Because I think Julie was thinking, okay, you're with Ellis. Maybe we could have something on the down low. But Julie's looking like, dang, this is another person I got to compete with. There's somebody else I got to compete with. Yes, Julie, this is someone else you got to compete with. Yeah, somebody else. And now the reason why I'm showing this scene that's kind of like mundane and minute is that in addition to Julie looking crazy, look who else. Look who else is over here. Now, Julie just got here. It's been a couple of days for the Matthews being in Fromville. Well, Kevin, he's been seeing this type of action, getting rejected, seeing other people get action. Other people are closing the deal, if you will. Everyone's closing the deal but Kevin. Kevin's in there wishing that he could, but he can't. Just like in the regular world, he wishes that he was that guy. He's not that guy.
But that's okay.
He's not that guy. And unfortunately, in society, there's a lot of men who are not that guy. You're not going to get the cheerleader, not going to get the prom queen, not going to get the popular girl, not going to get the women that look good. You're stuck with your sock, okay? You're stuck getting with the ugly Betty. You got a group of friends. They're talking to a group of girls. Everyone's got great chemistry. Kevin's the guy that's kind of like sitting there watching. And he's got to be the one to take one for the team and entertain the one that nobody wants. Like, there's enough women for everybody. You got to entertain the ones that nobody wants.
You're my special friend.
And of course, with that being said, someone like Kevin, who we'll say is an incel, someone who probably upset with women for one thing or another, maybe has mommy issues, who knows? Someone like Jasmine, who's a creature, but very beautiful, would easily make work of Kevin. And once Kevin is like 30 and Jasmine's 30 and she's wanting to use men for their money, Kevin's going to be a prime target.
Yikes.
I'm just trying to lay out the reason why I think Kevin entertained Jasmine, knowing she's a creature and all they do is hunt and tear people apart, why he would even talk to her and then open up the window. Remember this, Boyd communicated out loud to Father Khatri that Boyd was planning on going into the forest to go search for stuff. Father Khatri communicated the story about the voices, how he ended up, who he was before he got into Fromville, and the fact that Sarah's in the basement of the church. And Father Khatri wants himself and Sarah to accompany Boyd. This is important because I think that Fromville, whether you're talking about the good side or the bad side, one side or the other, Fromville, hearing this plan, knows that it's time for certain things to take place. And I think that they wanted to keep Father Khatri from going with Boyd. I believe Fromville knew Sarah was going to be going. and Boyd was going to be going. And they were cool with that because what we saw laid out season 1, episode 10. But a third person would have messed up the worms being able to go back into town and create the cicadas. Boyd said out loud, I plan to go into the forest to look for a way out. Father Khatri, in response, said, Sarah's locked up in the basement. She can hear voices. We want to come too. This is Kevin. Now think about it. I'm thinking that in the past, he went to go use the bathroom. He heard a knocking at the window. He went to the window, saw Jasmine. And again, like I laid out a few seconds ago, or maybe a minute ago, that Kevin in this conversation, in this thought process or this theory, he is an incel. Women don't really find him attractive. He's the friend. They don't find him physically appealing. They don't find him mentally appealing. Maybe he was broke on the outside, a loser, stayed at home with his mom. We don't know much about Kevin. I'm making a bunch of assumptions, but just understand that the character that Kevin is someone who's lonely, not popular. Maybe he was bullied while he was in school, rejected by a bunch of people. His boss talks crazy to him. He takes it. Whole host of different things that makes Kevin a loser to where he would entertain a creature even if she does look beautiful and attractive. Sponsoring this video, and I really appreciate the support, we have Amanda Kenny 4997 with the super thanks, supporting as usual. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Amanda's MVP. Amanda is MVP, and she definitely supports the From community. I appreciate the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also have BB Rock VA with the super thanks, says love the theories, creative and thought-provoking. I appreciate it. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for sponsoring the video. And another sponsor, Amanda Kenny 4997. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Amanda Kenny, for being a channel member, always supporting and keeping the lights on around here.
Everybody feeling the love.
Yes, the love is definitely felt. Kevin comes in, he walks up, opened the window, and it's made a noise. It's made a noise, but guess what? Jasmine is looking elsewhere. And she's distracted. After Kevin lets her in and she attacks Kevin, her people come from over here. So her people are coming not where she's looking, but they're coming from another direction. Why is Jasmine looking right and her people are coming left? Because Jasmine's not really worried about her people who are a part of her infiltration element. I'm going to show you where Jasmine's looking and why she's concerned. Jasmine is looking to the right. Her people, her element is going to come from here out of the forest. This is Colony House right here. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. So they're at Colony House. Her element is coming from the forest. They are right here on this ledge. Her infiltration element that we see after Kevin gets taken out, they're coming from the woods behind Colony House. So in between, they're going to walk in between Colony House and the greenhouse. She's looking away. She's looking towards town. Why is she looking towards town? I think Jasmine is looking from here based off the way her body's positioned. She's looking in this direction, and I think she's looking at Sheriff Boyd's station. Now, why is she doing that? I think she's looking to see the attacking element that is over here, and they're looking at her, because if she goes into Colony House, they know that the plan is to make sure that we are right up in here to prepare for when the residents of Colony House, when they leave Colony House and go into town as a part of their evacuation protocol, to make sure that while they're driving, they meet the van here. Whoever's in the van, they're going to leave alone in hopes that Father Khatri comes outside to attack Father Khatri. Now, I know you're thinking, well, that's what happened on the show. If you just go back and rewatch the scene, no one in the van gets attacked. But the creature who takes out Father Khatri says, Father. That prompts Father Khatri to stop, turn around, and get hit by the creature. So the creatures, or at least the voices, they know that Father Khatri is a priest. They saw him bury the stuff. And Frumville even knows that he used to be a priest, or a Catholic priest, because a voice from God told him, you have another path. So he was brought into Frumville. I think he was brought into Frumville with the anticipation or hope to keep Sarah alive and put her in the church, because the incident with Sarah happened at the barn. Think about it like this. Father Khatri took Sarah, because Sarah probably would have ran into the woods and just been out there for the rest of her life, or just been sad sitting there with Nathan. And she probably would have wanted to go into the box because her brother's gone. Father Khatri took her from the barn over here on the right side, all the way over here to the church to hide her. That's a long path to go. Sarah more than likely would have not been able to hide or stay alive without Father Khatri's help. That's really the whole reason, in my opinion, he was brought into Frumville, is for that one task of, in this theory, for the one task of making sure that Sarah is put in the church for Boyd to find and take into the forest with him. Because if Boyd would have went into the forest without Sarah, he would have not have made it. He would have, let's say he would have got into the tent and been dragged to the spider nest by the forest or the trees in the forest. At that point, he would have been bit and he would have passed away. If Sarah was not there to be able to hear the boy in white, to communicate to Boyd to get into the tree, Boyd would have lost his life. So Sarah had to be in the forest with Boyd. And I think the voices, maybe Frumville, Evaside, whatever, they've been playing puppet master, waiting for this point in time to take place. And that's the reason why Jasmine is facing that direction, because she's looking to see if they're preparing the stage in this area, talking about the creatures that ended up taking Father Khatri's life. She's looking at them, they're looking at her, and the idea is, if I go inside this window, we're gonna run our infiltration drill if I go in this window. Please subscribe, click the bell, ding the dong, bing the bong, all that great stuff. Share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Please and thank you. And also, if you want to donate, you could donate through Super Thanks. That is located where the subscribe button is. And also, you could donate with Cash App. That is $Spade Parkland. And also, you could join the channel membership by clicking the join button near the subscribe button. I do weekly live streams for channel members, so join that if you want to be a part of the channel member live stream. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.